Hey guys, my name is Ashley Simno and I'm a Hawktail player. Hawktail players love storytelling, and we like to tell stories that are nonfiction, which means that they are 100% true. Today I'm going to tell you the story about my teacher, David Purnell, and the time he went from a lifeguard to a lifesaver. I'm going to tell the story from his perspective as if I were him, so here it goes. It was a hot summer in 1998. I was the head lifeguard at Curie Beach when I was 22 years old. Has anyone been to Curie Beach? It was a normal, calm, sunny day at the beach. I was at the furthest northern lifeguard tower. Those days, lifeguards covered about a mile of beach. It was about a half a mile north of the pier, and I was the boss man, so I decided I was going to sit in the tower that day. My assistant had the four-wheeler when all of a sudden we got a call. Can everybody answer the call? It was the central tower, and they said there was an emergency. I answered, and I said, well, what's the emergency? They said, it's your mom. So, my parents owned a motel for years in Curie Beach. Immediately, I thought there was something wrong with my dad because the week before he had passed out due to heat exhaustion. So I jumped off the lifeguard tower and I started running down the beach. Everybody run down the beach with me. I should have called the guard with the four-wheeler, but at the time I wasn't thinking straight. When I got to the guard who made the call, he explained to me that my mom was at the motel, so I had to run another block up the beach. Everybody run another block up the beach. When I got to the motel, frantic, I asked my mom if my dad was okay. She explained my dad was fine, but there was a man in room number 8 who needed my help. So I run up the stairs again, everybody run up the stairs. Police haven't arrived, EMS haven't arrived, I'm the first responder. When I get up the stairs, I see my brother, who used to be a lifeguard too, standing over a man who had no shirt on, swim trunks, and his skin had turned completely blue. I look over in the kitchen and I see his wife is crying, and my brother explained to me that he had suffered from cardiac arrest and had no pulse. Can everybody check their pulse for me? So my brother looks at me and says, what are we gonna do? So we each get on one side of the man to get him off the bed. He had been at the pool all day, so his skin was covered in sunscreen, which made him super slippery. So we pick him up and get him up off the bed and finally get him on the floor of the motel, which was not easy. My brother starts doing CPR and I start doing chest compressions. I can hear sirens wailing in the distance, and a Curie Beach police officer finally comes in with a mouthpiece to help my brother in giving the man mouth to mouth. I kept doing my chest compressions when finally the EMS arrived. But I was going to save this man's life. I was doing 15 compressions and 2 deep breaths. Can everybody take 2 deep breaths with me? 1, 2. While the EMS was hooking up their stuff. Just like you see in movies, they hooked him up to a defibrillator and yelled, clear! The man started jolting, and they told me to keep doing my chest compressions as I could feel his ribs cracking beneath me due to my deep compressions. When doing chest compressions, you don't bend your elbows. You lock your arms, you get on top, and you push down with your hands with as much force as possible. Everybody try it with me. Whew, sweat is pouring down my face as I'm giving the man chest compressions. And they're giving the man pulses. An EMS comes to me and says, do you want me to step in? And I said, no, I'm gonna save this man's life myself. Finally, an EMS with a stethoscope yells, stop, stop, stop. We all stop, because the man finally has a pulse. Everybody check your pulse again. We're finally able to get him to the hospital, where he makes a full recovery. About a year later, I found out that he was on a list for a heart transplant. And I also went to go visit my parents in Curie Beach when they said they had someone that wanted to see me. I didn't know who it could be. When I got there, it was the man's wife, and she thanked me and my brother for saving her husband's life that day. You know, this made me appreciate first responders because they do this every day. This was the one time in my life I got to save someone's life, and I can't believe that people wake up and do this every day for a living. Makes me appreciate them. So what did you guys learn from this story?